Nochmal, Death of Hitler nochmal sagen.
What?
On the History Channel, there's a documentary program, and they made a program about the death of Hitler. They wanted to search for the truth, and now, what they did was first they went and they interviewed an American soldier who was there, and he said, "Yeah, we did this." And they interviewed one of Norris, the bodyguard, the only living bodyguard from the guard of Hitler, from the bunker in Berlin, and he gave a story, and then comes the Russians, and they said they found the cremated, the burnt remains of Hitler. Then he was buried in Magdeburg, and then they took the body and they took it to Russia. Now, these people from the documentary, they had some forensic scientists, and they took parts of the skull, they took it to a forensic lab in Connecticut in America, and they made a test of this. And the test was, what they found was the blood. They also had pieces of the couch. They tested the blood from the couch, and they tested the skull. They had a piece of the skull, the Russians, which they said was the skull of Hitler. The blood that they found on the couch was male. There's no sample to test it with Hitler, so there's no saying it was Hitler. But the piece of the skull that the Russians are saying, and the Russians are maintaining that is a piece of Hitler's skull. First of all, where the skull fuses, where the plates of the skull fuse, it's about, the maximum age is 20 to 40 years old. Hitler was 56 when he died. Second, when they did a DNA check of the skull, it was a female skull. The DNA is a female skull. There's no proof that Hitler was this skull, that this skull was Hitler. Now, they also found, they made an animation of the bunker, and they found an escape to the roof and an escape to the garden, and there was one female pilot who was cleared to fly. She met with Hitler, and then she was cleared to fly, and she flew out of Berlin. And so the theory, the conspiracy theory, is that Hitler escaped. Hitler didn't die. Hitler didn't die. There's proof. The skull that the Russians maintain that is the skull of Hitler is a female skull. The blood is male, but there is not sufficient DNA to prove that it's Hitler's. And there was a flight from this woman who met with Hitler earlier in the day, and then flew out of Berlin and flew into France and escaped. That is potentially the escape route of Hitler. The FBI think Hitler, with some of the other high-ranking German officers, lived the rest of his life in Argentina. Hitler didn't die, and
Hitler was a woman. Hitler was a wimpy.
Hitler was a woman! Holy shit! Okay.
I never broke your windows. I never broke your rules. I never took to your tender vendetta, didn't touch your family jewels. Revenge is a strong emotion. Friction is the mother of pearl. It's a disapproving, disappointing, disappearing world. Now what's this?
I didn't burn your house down. I didn't burn your house.
I never tried to
steal your car. I didn't know where to start. Bribe for more. And I'm going to look at the curse. Not quite a figure anymore.
You're getting on my nerves. The tepid shallows of a failing brain.
Innocence!
your rules. I never broke your rules. Touch your Taliban dad, then touch your family jewels. Revenge is a strong emotion. Friction is the mother of pearl. It's a disappearing, disappointing, disappearing world. Who is, if I'm not to blame? Innocent! Innocent! Innocent!
I didn't run to your rescue.
I didn't hear you scream. And ninja pat you. Get your public streams. With a powerful picture. Nothing about it exists. It's a you makes you. And I do things like that. You too. If that claims. Innocent!